everyone, we'll call to order our May Borough Council meeting. At this time, we have a moment of silence, and being that this is Police Memorial Month, Councilor Sarsfield will read a prayer in honor of fallen policemen.
The policeman's prayer. Lord, grant me courage for what I'm called to do in the keeping of and defense of innocence and truth. Make me strong and willing, a protector of what's right, and I know I will not fail if you guide me with your light.
Moment of silence, please. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Steve, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Covey,
Present.
Councilman Varys,
Here.
Councilwoman Demko,
Here.
Councilman Sarsfield,
Here.
Councilman Katina,
Here.
Councilman Delage,
Here.
Mayor Kabistik. Here. All present.
Thank you. I remind everyone at the beginning of meetings that if you have cell phones, that you turn them off or to vibrate, please. At this time, we have certificates for certificates of recognition related to honors at the Boys and Girls Club. Should we stand up there and do these? Right here? The first one is for Colin Saprosky. The Borough of Carnegie, along with the Carnegie Boys and Girls Club, hereby recognizes Colin Saprosky for being named the 2013 Carnegie Boys and Girls Club Dapper Dan Sports Athlete of the Year.
And this certificate is for Lauren L. Welch. The Borough of Carnegie, along with the Carnegie Boys and Girls Club, hereby recognizes Lauren Welch for being named the 2013 Joe Gordon Youth Volunteer of the Year by the Boys and Girls Club of Western Pennsylvania. So that's
And lastly, Brittany Mooring. The Borough of Carnegie, along with the Carnegie Boys and Girls Club, hereby recognizes Brittany Mooring for being named the 2013 Carnegie Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year.
Would like to come back up and get one picture together? Yeah, I know there's a lot of cameras. No, stand next to him. Cut me a break here. Thank you, guys.
We also want to honor tonight Lou Trombetta.
you have done so much for not only this community, but for the Boys and Girls Club, especially for the boys and girls of this area.
Thanks.
And we really appreciate what you've done, everybody up there.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
First, I'll read a certificate of appreciation, and then the mayor will read a proclamation. The Borough of Carnegie hereby recognizes Lou Trombetta, Assistant Executive Director and Athletic Program Director for the Carnegie Boys and Girls Club, for over 30 years of outstanding service and dedication to youth of Chartiers Valley community. Thank you.
Now we have a proclamation. We're actually going to name a day after you this year. So that's the day everybody has to golf, right? All right, the Borough of Carnegie proclamation to designate May 23rd, 2013 as Lou Trombetta Day. And we picked that day because that's Kennywood Day, so we hope everybody can go around Kennywood telling everybody Happy Lou Trombetta Day. Whereas the Boys and Girls Club of America had its beginnings in Hartford, Connecticut in 1860 and now consists of nearly 4,000 clubs serving 4.1 million young people throughout its membership and community outreach. Whereas the Boys and Girls Club of Western Pennsylvania was established in 1931, and whereas the primary mission of the Boys and Girls Club of Western Pennsylvania is to promote health, social, educational, vocational, and character development for boys and girls ages 6 to 18 by self-esteem, values, and skills. And whereas the Carnegie Boys and Girls Club has served the youth of Carnegie and surrounding communities by providing a safe place to spend time during non-school hours and the summer. And whereas Lou Trombetta has been a dedicated staff member committed to improving each child's life by tutoring, mentoring, and being a positive role model. And whereas Lou Trombetta, Assistant Executive Director and Athletic Program Director, is retiring after providing outstanding service and dedication to the youth of Chartiers Valley community for over 30 years as an employee of the Carnegie Boys and Girls Club. Now therefore, the Mayor and Borough Council take great pride in proclaiming May 23rd, 2013 as Lou Trombetta Day in the Borough of Carnegie. Thank you very much.
When I was a kid, I spent a lot of time at the Boys Club. It was called then just the Boys Club. And there was a couple there named Marge and Hoopy. I don't know if you remember, any of you folks are old enough to remember Marge and Hoopy.
Camp Arrowhead.
And spent a lot of time, and it was a great memory for me as growing up, and I'm sure the Boys and Girls Club continues to make positive impressions on our community children.
Yeah, I mean, I just got to say, you know, Lou is a positive influence on me as a young boy, and he's been a positive influence on me as a man, and I'm forever grateful. Lou has his ways, but I'll tell you, you can get quite an education from Lou Trombetta, and I just want to thank him from the bottom of my heart.
At this time, you have motions that were listed in the agenda. Were at the table when you entered the room. And if you have any comments to make on the motions that are on the agenda, this would be your time to do so. If you have any comments related to items outside of the agenda, we will address those later in the meeting. So at this time, if you have any comments on the motions that are on the agenda. All right, there being none, we will get started. Councilman Katina.
Motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting on April 8th, 2013.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Councilperson Barris?
Yes.
Council President Delos?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the May bill list and bill list addendum.
Second.
Comments? Roll
Pro-
call vote, please.
Prior to this, there was always some discussion concerning council didn't feel good about paying for the mortgage for the fire department because EMS was also in that building. At last week's workshop meeting, EMS came forward and said that they were basically working with a realtor to come up with the lease agreement amount or something to get us something within the next 30 days. And I believe you'll see that's, in my mind, that's a positive step. And hopefully by this vote tonight, the rest of council will obviously see that as a positive step and this bill list will approve. I expect the bill list will pass with the majority of council.
Unanimous.
I'd like to make a comment also. Since January, I've been voting against paying the mortgage for the reasons Councilman Katina just stated. But I do believe that with our new consultant making a motion to us to give another 30 days for some negotiations, I'm going to change my vote tonight, and I'm going to vote yes for paying the mortgage. I did it previously, voted against it, because I always felt that EMS should be paying rent in that building. And they have not done so yet, but I think we're on the right track now to get to that point. So I'm going to change my vote tonight to yes.
Any other comments on the bill list? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Councilperson Barris?
Yes.
Councilperson Covey?
Yes.
Councilperson Katina?
Yes.
Council President Delos?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you all of council for that. Motion to advertise Borough Ordinance number 2381, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie levying and accessing real estate taxes for general and specific purposes for the year 2013 at 5.4 mils, subject revision.
Second.
Comments? This number, 5.4 mils, was arrived at through taking our revenue that we got from 2012 taxes and adjusting it flat for 2013. So the number would be reduced, according to motion C, would be reduced from 7.2 to 5.4. So that's what motion C is.
I just want to interject here that this is a year after a reassessment, and the state has put forth, the state Pennsylvania legislators set forth a two-step process for adopting a millage in a year after a reassessment to avoid any hidden windfall increases to the municipalities. The first step is to take a vote to set a revenue neutral number, and that's what motion C would be. They also allow you to go to 105% of the revenue neutral number by a second separate vote, and that would be number 1D.
There you go. I was basically going to say the same thing, it's a two-step process.
Any other comments then regarding motion C? A roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Barris?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Councilperson Katina?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson Covey?
Yes.
Council President Delos?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to advertise Borough Ordinance number 2382, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie levying and assessing real estate taxes for general and specific purposes for the year 2013 at 6.1 mils, subject also to revision.
Second.
Mr. Solicitor, you want to explain then how the second number was arrived at?
Sure.
Certainly, Mr. President. The 6.1 mils, there's a county certified assessed value that is approximately $343 million. That's all the property here, divided by the budget amount, get 373, divided by the budget amount, which is 2.1. gets you to 5.7 mils, but factored in the amount of non-payment of taxes. The actual collection of taxes is 91%, so we had to take out the 9%. And then 81% of the people take a 2% discount. So to meet the budget number, we had to go through those mechanizations, and that's how we arrived at the 6.1 mils, which is a reduction from 7.2 mils that it was in 2012. This is not, when Mr. Katina said subject to revisions, the county certified assessed value is going to change about 3 or 4 more times before the next meeting, and this is subject to change. It's not going to change a whole heck of a lot, but this is the 6.1 mils is actually a worst case scenario, and if it comes back better doing the mechanizations, then it would be lower.
Mr. President, also, our solicitor has filed with the courts that we could go above the 5%. It is within this body, and that they believe that they just want to keep it at the 5%. And they want to be able to, anything over the 5% will go into an escrow account and will be used for taxes following year.
Yes, subject to North.
Right. So.
That's correct. So what the mayor says is true. Any additional or excessive revenues that the borough would collect, we will put into an escrow account, which would allow us to lower the millage rate next year.
Actually, anything that comes in in excess of the 105% would go into an escrow account that would, because one of the big problems is there's still tax bills pending for this pre-assessment year, and if the borough has to budget money to pay those people that would win on their tax assessment and get it lowered, then that could affect the borough's ability to budget, to meet its budget. So anything that goes over 105% would go into this escrow account to be used only for the purpose of paying rebates to people that pay their taxes on time, and then ultimately get a reduction in their property assessment value. Any money that's left over at the end of 2013 in this account would then be a credit in 2014, and you get a tax. The taxes would be lowered commensurately with whatever money ends up in this account for 2014.
Any other comments regarding motion D? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Council President DeLosso.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Councilman Kogi, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to adopt Borough Ordinance Number 2386, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie, amending Chapter 5, Part 2 of the Carnegie Borough Code of Ordinances, requiring all persons obtain a permit for any construction or development within the Borough of Carnegie subject to flooding. Second.
Comments? This motion is just to ensure that persons who need flood insurance can get it, because our permitting is in accordance with the floodplain that's identified by FEMA.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Council President DeLosso.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve a curb cut application as submitted by the owner of 127 Greenbrier Drive.
Second.
Comments? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to ratify a phone vote taken on April 30th, 2013, to authorize the demolition of 11 Howard Street under emergency circumstances as detailed in a letter from KLH date April 12th, 2013. Second.
This is regarding a house that had caught fire back a couple of weeks ago. This was on 11 Howard Street near the senior center. There was a house that caught fire. And afterwards, we were concerned about the status of the house, that it could be dangerous, that it may collapse and injure neighbors or passersby. And so we took a phone vote of council members to get permission to have our contractors demolish that building. And so this is to formally ratify that authority. The engineer, yes, the engineer did confirm to us that the building was unsafe and should be raised. Otherwise, we would have bid it under a normal process. If there's no comments, yes.
I just want to say, first of all, council is a great action moving forward with this relatively quickly, and I think you guys did a great job on that. One thing I do want to say too is the fire department also did a great job. That the fact is, when that fire was raging, that there was only one property that we have to tear down there.
Yes, and it should be noted, it has been noted in the past, that firefighting is a dangerous job, and we've said this many times, even though we have disputes with the fire department over finances, we've never questioned their bravery in dealing with fires. And in this particular case, we had a homeowner who had propane tanks stored in their home, and this building wasn't merely on fire, there were explosions in the building. And the firemen did a very professional job of handling that. We're greatly appreciative of their work. Roll call, please, Stephen.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve payment in the amount of $18,400 to Stewart Contracting, Inc. for the demolition of 11 Howard Street.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to accept the bid of Shape Excavating Contractors, Inc. in the amount of $31,692 for the demolition of the property located at 12 3rd Street, 102-C-335.
Motion to table.
Second.
Need a second first before you can table. Second, and then a motion.
Motion to table.
Second.
This property is commonly known as the Pucci Apartment Building. And we are, we need to table this motion this evening because there are some additional issues regarding the awarding, regarding related properties nearby that we need to clarify first before we proceed.
And it was the recommendation of our engineer that we table this motion.
Thank you. All in favor of tabling the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is tabled. Councilwoman Demko, please.
Motion to authorize KLH Engineering to advertise to accept bids for the 2013 sewer repair contract, A excavation, B lining, and C specialty.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to offer part-time seasonal help employment for the Department of Public Works to David DeDola at a pay rate of $10 per hour pending successful results of a physical examination and drug screen. Starting date to be determined by the Superintendent of the Department of Public Works.
Second.
Comments? We begin a series of motions here regarding hiring summer help.
Mr. President, you'll notice there's two different amounts, one $10 and a few at $9. That's because of experience, that we pay a higher amount if they've been here.
Thank you. I believe this is a roll call vote.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to offer part-time seasonal help employment for the Department of Public Works to Dennis Lawrence Jr. at a pay rate of $9 per hour pending successful results of a physical examination and drug screen, starting date to be determined by the superintendent of the Department of Public Works.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to offer part-time seasonal help employment for the Department of Public Works to Jeffrey Steffen Jr. at a pay rate of $9 per hour pending successful results of a physical examination and drug screen, starting date to be determined by the superintendent of the Department of Public Works.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to offer part-time seasonal help employment for the Department of Public Works to Shane Conley at a pay rate of $9 per hour pending successful results of a physical examination and drug screen, starting date to be determined by the superintendent of the Department of Public Works.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to offer part-time seasonal help employment for the Department of Public Works to Jordan Audi at the pay rate of $9 per hour pending successful results of a physical examination and drug screen, starting date to be determined by the superintendent of the Department of Public Works.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And Keith, when do they all start? As soon as school's done?
We do not quit you.
Motion to grant terminal leave to Public Works Foreman Frank C. Shemansky, effective 21st of May, 2013, with an effective retirement date of August 9th, 2013.
Second.
Mr. Shemansky is a longtime employee in the borough and hardworking, excellent employee, and we're sorry to see him retired, but he decided it's time, so we want to support him as best we can. Roll call vote, please.
I just want to say that, as I have really nothing to do with Public Works, I know that a couple events that we had, I really appreciate the fact that he would dedicate his time free of charge to help out with different things, like making the sign for Pitcher Park at the field, working at the haunted trail, and things of that nature. So, really community oriented, so I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mayor. Any other comments?
I mean, Frank's always been a good employee to the borough. You know, he's always, as the mayor said, he's always going the extra mile. You know, Frank lives in my neck of the woods, and you know, I know he's always been there to help his neighbors and stuff. So he's been a good employee and a good citizen.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Passes.
Motion to offer temporary full-time employment in the Public Works Department to Joshua Valentine pending successful results of a physical examination and drug screen. This position will be at a pay rate not to exceed $17.12 per hour and will be subject to the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Collective Bargaining Agreement.
Second.
Comments?
Mr. President, it should also be noted there's no additional benefits for this employee while they're in this full-time temporary employee status.
He will be temporary until Frank Szymanski completely retires. And at that point, then he will
Have the opportunity.
have benefits and everything.
Yes. You will have the opportunity to migrate from a temporary position into a permanent position pending a successful probationary period.
Yes. I just want to clarify that when this is subject to the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Collective Bargaining Agreement, Mr. Valentine is being brought in as a temporary employee to fill the void until such time as Mr. Szymanski retires. He is not going to be he's not going to have the protection of the collective bargaining agreement. This was worked out with the Teamsters Union until such time as Mr. Szymanski officially retires, and then he would be considered for the full-time employment. If he is brought into the full-time employment in August upon the retirement of Mr. Szymanski, the only thing that would be subject to the bargaining unit for the interim period that would count towards his probation period.
Any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Demko,
Yes.
Councilperson Barris,
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Katina,
Yes.
Councilperson Covey,
Yes.
Council President DeLoss.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Public Safety, Councilman Sarsfield.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our first motion is going to be, well, I guess I read the motion and then somebody will make it to the table. All right, motion to adopt Borough Ordinance 2385, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending Chapter 1, Part 6 of the Borough Code of Ordinances and recognizing Carnegie Volunteer Fire and Rescue Bureau as an official fire company of the Borough of Carnegie.
Is there a second?
Second.
I make a motion to table this motion.
There's a motion to table. Comments?
I just want to reiterate what I said before. With the new talks that are going on between the two consultants, one for the fire department and one for the borough, we've decided to go another 30 days to try to work things out. At the end of 30 days, we're hoping to have an ordinance that's acceptable to the borough as well as the fire department.
Other comments? There's a motion to table. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is tabled.
My next motion, Mr. President, will be removed from the agenda pending further discussion on behalf of council.
Thank you, Councilman. We'll continue with community development motions. Councilman Veras.
Motion A is going to be removed from the agenda this evening based on additional information that we've asked for from people that have sent in resumes. Motion B, to ratify a recommendation by the Planning Commission to accept the proposed lot consolidation of Carnegie Radiator located at 409 Jane Street. This consolidation consists of lot and block numbers 193, or 103H 234, 103H 238, 103H 240, 103H 242, and 103H 244.
Second.
Comment, please.
Yes.
They're consolidating this lot because they're looking to build a small office building.
there, and which will, in that area, it's more of an industrial area down there, so it'll be outside of our main district, but I think it'll be a nice addition. So we almost lost this a couple times, but the owner stuck to it, and I think it's going to come through. So I think it's a great addition. Maybe more tax dollars, so helps out all the way around.
Mr. Solicitor, all of these lots are already owned by the company, they're just consolidating, is that correct?
Yeah, that's Yes.
Any other comments?
Again, I agree with the mayor. Carnegie Radiator's been here for many, many years, and you know, for them to grow is a plus for the community.
That being said, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we'll go into committee reports, starting with Councilman Catino.
I have no report this evening. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Covey,
We have no report this evening, Mr. President. Thank you.
Councilman Demko.
Just a quick one, the storm, there was a lot of debris and things and damage from the storm last Friday, so the Public Works did a great job of cleaning up so far, but they still have more to go, so be patient, or if you see anything, give us a buzz, and we'll get them on it.
Community Development, Public Safety, Councilman Sarsfield.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to, again, applaud Public Works, our fire department, our police department. Friday, we expected rain, but the storm came up quick. You know, several trees stayed down for a while. That wasn't due to our crews not being able to remove it. They had to wait until Duquesne Lake came out and took care of what they took care of. But I think that it was a great effort, everybody working together, and I want to thank them. Also, as I said at the beginning of the meeting, this is Police Memorial Month, so please remember and thank your police officers that serve and protect us every day. There was training, and I believe the mayor will elaborate more on this in his report. There was training that took place over at the Carnegie Elementary School through the COG, that's Council of Governments, Chiefs of Police Organization, and any training we can have our officers attend and other officers with them, I think is a true asset. For that to happen in our elementary school, I think should make us all feel a little bit better and a little bit safer. I don't know if anybody was riding around and saw the multitude of police cars there and wondered what was going on, that's what was going on. And again, I think it's a real asset and a plus to have it right here in our community. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Veras.
A couple weeks ago, we mentioned that Action Housing had come to Carnegie to look at about 9 to 11 properties that we have that are vacant. They could be vacant lots or buildings that need repair. And they went back to their office, sent us a memo that they would like to come back again with their engineering firm as well as their developer and look at the properties at a second time. What we're waiting for right now is for them to come back with a proposal showing which properties they're interested in and how they plan to develop that property. Also, about 10 days ago, myself and Council President DeLoss met with the Chartres Valley Industrial Commercial Development Authority as to what our plans are for commercial development in Carnegie on the Borough side, as well as what their plans were for their group side. We met for about an hour and a half. Nothing was determined or positive when we came out of the meeting, but we did determine that we need to meet at least once a month or at least on a quarterly basis to discuss what we might be doing so that one side knows what the other side is doing. And personally, I felt that the meeting was very positive, and I look forward to more of those meetings.
Thank you. Normally, under the President's report, of course, I don't say very much. My role as President is to make sure that the rest of the committees are doing what they're supposed to be doing, so they usually speak for me. But I wanted to comment tonight that Chief Harmon was here a little bit ago. I think he's left. He's left the room now. Everybody in town knows that the chief is retiring. Initially, we had planned for that retirement to take place at the end of the year. However, that timeline has been accelerated simply because of personal matters on the chief's side, not from council. He is closing on his house, his retirement home tomorrow, as a matter of fact, and will be closing on the sale of his house here at the end of the month. And so consequently, those things happened quicker than he anticipated, and the chief is going to be going into retirement earlier than he anticipated. So he will be here next month for our June council meeting, but we do not anticipate that he will be attending meetings after that. So I was hoping he would still be here so that we could say, Chief, how much we appreciate your 20 years as chief in our community. So we'll save that for next month. But I just wanted to make everyone aware that his role as manager, which he has been doing for 3 years, will be transitioning soon. And likewise, his role as police chief, we will have to be attending to this summer. So some big changes coming up for us in the next few months. At this point, if there's a representative from the fire department who would like to make any comments.
I'll just give you the totals for April.
Thank you.
26 emergencies for fire department and 181 for EMS.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. If any of our junior council members have any comments.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Right there.
Oh, we do. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say, last Saturday was the Michigan Showcase. It went really well. Like, I think they sold out, which was close to selling out, it did. And then I participated in a play crawl for my dance company, Carnegie Arts Center. And for the rain and like the light go up, I thought it went pretty good. We had 5 people from the community come and then a couple parents, kids from the dance company. And then June 1st and 2nd for my dance place, Carnegie Arts Center. They're doing a recital at Carnegie Music Hall, and I've been able to fly there.
June 1st and 2nd?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, your Carnegie Performing Arts Center is going to participate in the Memorial Day Parade this year, too.
Yeah.
You guys are really busy.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. President. For the past month, we had criminal arrests and citations numbering 37, traffic citations numbered 60, 227 parking tickets, and complaints and self-initiated activity by our police department were 1,060. Probably the biggest event that's happened recently was there was an armed robbery at the Sunoco the other night. We were able to get good video on that. The video feed was on KDKA and a bunch of other news stations. The important thing is that nobody was hurt. There definitely is a solid lead, and the department is currently working on that right now. So we're hoping to bring us to rest relatively quickly. Sergeant Kennedy and the state troopers conducted another truck inspection. So the truck inspection was a few hours in our borough. The problem with truck inspections is you basically get one truck if you're lucky, and then after that everybody's on the horn telling all the other trucks to stay out of the area. But it's something we have to try. I still think that it is a serious problem, the number of tankers that are coming through our town. I mean, we just saw a tanker explode on I-81 down near Harrisburg. Not saying that that's going to happen here, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but we have way too many tankers. The other problem is there is a huge number of tankers coming through on trains. And if you've ever seen a train just stopped in there, it's just one tanker car after another. And all that is flammable gas. And one of my concerns, and I'm working with Senator Fontana's office on this, I've also talked to the DEP, is that one is trying to reroute it, which is, I'm not getting anywhere with that. But the other thing is getting the proper training within the borough in case a disaster would happen, so that we, getting that training paid for by the companies that are transporting this stuff. So those are the things we're working on right now. What will come to fruition, I don't know. As everyone knows, government moves very slowly. As Councilman Sarsfield said earlier, we did have what's called alert training at Carnegie Elementary, and what that is basically it's a training to how to handle an issue at the school which would involve a shooter or a violent issue. And so we get departments from surrounding communities send officers here, and they act out scenarios with ammunition that simulates live ammunition. And then they debrief all their actions after each scenario. One of our officers, Officer Seaman, is an instructor for the alert training. We had 3 officers participate. Of course, there's a number of other officers that were involved in other ways too. So it was a good training exercise. We hope we never have to use it, but an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Spring, we've increased our traffic targets. You may have noticed that. We're far ahead of last year's traffic targets at this time. And so we're really trying to crack down on some of the speeders coming through town, but I can tell you right now, it's almost impossible. No matter what road you look at, there's people exceeding the speed limit. So we're trying our best, but it's hard to keep up with. Right? As mentioned the storm, I do want to mention that our police, the way they handled themselves at the storm, I was very impressed, very sympathetic, very compassionate. It was a lot of work for them. Of course, Public Works did a fantastic job as usual. And then also want to mention the fact is, this is why you want, and I think council agrees with this, you want to have your own fire department here in the community. Because it wasn't just our community that the storm hit. The storm hit every surrounding community. If we share a fire department with another community, and I am 100% positive they would take care of the issues in their community first and then come and help in this community later. And trust me, there were many issues. There were down wires and down trees all over the community. Once again, it's that time of year where we do get these strong spring storms, and Public Works, I'm sure they're doing this already, but we want to make sure that we keep the debris in the creek cleaned up. And I saw a few logs down there today, as I had mentioned to you earlier this evening, that if we can get that debris out of the creek, that helps that creek flow better, and we don't want any issues with debris. Also with the spring, in our police department, we've increased our foot patrols and we started our bike patrols. So you'll be seeing more action around, especially in some of the areas where there's a little more crime. We had a nice deer graduation. I want to thank Sergeant Liddy, did a great job this year. It was well attended by the community, and I think the DARE program reaches these youngsters, and it talks much more than just drugs and alcohol. It really addresses some of the social issues that these kids face, cyberbullying, bullying in general, dealing with predators on the internet. So it really covers a whole host of issues that children in today's society have to encounter. We had a great race, a nice race. The 5K was very, very successful. It was a great community event. The chief's not here. I definitely thank the chief for his effort in that. And I will mention that Carnegie Elementary, you will see quite a few upgrades this summer. They'll be as soon as school's out, basically close the doors, so about the middle of June, they'll be starting construction on Carnegie Elementary. They're gonna change the whole entrance there so that it's a much safer entrance. They're update the HVAC, and there's a number of other room updates that are planned too. So when it's all said and done, I think we'll have a safer, cooler, and more aesthetic community school. There's even going to be some facade renovations. The Veterans Flag Services. Last year we did our Veterans Flag Services. They were very successful, and we will be restarting those Veteran Flag Services in June. The hope is to have the first, the goal is to have the first flag service coincide with Flag Day or the day after Flag Day. So that'll be June 15th.
Not to interrupt, there are those applications available here at the Borough building.
I was just going to say, we're going to get the applications here. Thank you. Yeah, you didn't interrupt, you actually helped me out. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got to get the applications online and here at the Borough building. Yes. Once again, the Borough and the American Legion and the VFW will be hosting a Memorial Day parade. That parade is May 26th at 2 p.m. It's Sunday. Carnegie Performing Arts will be in the parade. And we will basically the same itinerary, start at the Borough building, work our way down to East Main Street and the American Legion Hall. And then I just would like to say that we've had 2 original plays in our community. This is the last weekend for those original plays. Danny Girl and Without Ruth are both original plays that basically opened here in our community. So if you want to see an original play, it's a perfect opportunity last weekend. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Mayor. At this time, if anyone has comments they would like to make on any topic, this is your opportunity to do so. Please step up to the microphone, state your name and where you live, please.
My name's Colleen Bowers. I'm from Pittsburgh. I am not a Carnegie resident at this time. I came here to publicly recognize a few of the council members. My daughter was murdered February 8th, 2012, and I'm going to read this because it'll be a lot easier for me. Mayor Kubistik, I hope I said your name right, council board members and general public, I want to express my family's deepest appreciation for everything Carnegie Borough has done since the murder of my daughter, Melissa Bowers, who was murdered by Jeffrey Malloy, February 8, 2012. Families, some do not or cannot express their appreciation publicly, but I felt a special recognition needs to be in the public forum for Chief Harbin for all his help if any time I've had any questions, for Mayor Kubistik for speaking at my daughter's vigil on February 8, 2013, Councilman Sarsfield for attending my daughter's vigil, the Carnegie Borough for extending this room due to the inclement weather on February 8, 2013, and letting me bring domestic violence by homicide to the forefront on my daughter's anniversary. I will be doing this annually as far as bringing to the forefront in memory of my daughter every year, because domestic violence and by homicide is something that is so crucial and needs to be in the public forum at all times. And I will do that till my last breath. There are approximately 200 people here that were in attendance, and the caring from this borough is what a community can feel with the leadership that is present here tonight. And I also want to do a side note. My husband used to work for Carnegie Borough. He knows Chief Harbin. He used to be the Assistant Public Works Director before he cracked his back and his job. So we have relations. I have family in the Carnegie Borough, but I deeply wanted to express my sincere thanks and publicly recognize these 3 gentlemen especially to the council and to the public that's here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And there was actually at Off the Wall Theater, which the mayor spoke of, Without Ruth, that play. and they're going to be doing it annually. If after the meeting I can get your contact number, it's a day to end abuse against women, and they had women from the Pittsburgh Power football team that actually acted out the different roles, explained what goes on even in other countries, but how we're formulating plans to stop the violence here. So it would be, I think it would be really worthwhile for you to attend something like that, and it's really, I mean, if it doesn't move you, then nothing will, but I'll get your information after the meeting, if that's okay.
I just want to make sure, you know, the appreciation for you three gentlemen. Mayor, you didn't know my daughter. Councilman Sarsfield, you didn't. Chief Harvin didn't know, but he does know my family. And it was a very malicious crime. But there's women out there, and I'm going to be a strong advocate about voicing domestic violence by homicide. Speaking very publicly wherever and ever I can. But this tonight was special recognition for you three gentlemen and to Carnegie Borough for everything that they have done in the last year for helping and answering questions and providing a facility to do this anniversary vigil for her. So.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else with comments this evening? At this time, then, I'll ask good and welfare comments from our council members. So we'll start with Councilman Sarsfield this evening.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a busy month, Memorial Day, Police Memorial, Mother's Day, but I want to thank all of the servicemen and women who, whether they serve stateside or abroad, because of each one of them and their predecessors, I'm not able to do what I do, and I want to say thank you to them, and thank you to their families, and God bless each and every one of them. I want to again thank all police officers who are willing to step into harm's way to keep us safe each and every day. I know it's the day after, but I want to extend on my behalf a happy belated Mother's Day. I'm without my mother, but I still think of her each and every day, and where would we be without our mothers? Planning and cleanup day, I think, was, even with the weather, the rain, planting actually got done in record time this year, and as you drive through the town, you'll see the planters look absolutely beautiful. Again, it's a great step and a great progress for our community, but we were all amazed. We thought there were still planters that needed to be planted. We got done so quick, but it was great to be a part of it. There will actually be an article in the Tribune Review coming up, so and that's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Katina.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too attended the active shooter training at Carnegie Elementary this past weekend, and the mayor, Councilman Sarsfield, and myself all attended. And obviously, we were limited in what we could see because their tactics and training are obviously, that should be something that the police, and only the police, know. But I don't know how the rest of you felt, but from the very small portion that I saw, it unfortunately made me sick to my stomach knowing that we had to train for such an event. It literally sent chills down my spine. Hearing the screams and imagining what potentially could be at any given day. And I, like the mayor, hope and pray to God that this day never exists, and I hope the security improvements at Carnegie Elementary won't happen soon enough. So I'm glad we had the training, but I just hope it never comes to that point. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Demko, anything?
No, nothing tonight.
Councilman Veers?
Well, we had bad weather last Friday for the Carnegie Crawl. There were 37 businesses that participated to have the first crawl for, that would be the second Friday of the month. They'll have 3 more on the same, in the middle of the month, up until August. but they had 37 businesses that participated, and they did well. They could have done better, but the weather was very bad. This Historical Society and the Democratic Committee of Carnegie had their pancake and sausage breakfast, which was a success, and a check was presented to the Historical Society for $850 from the proceeds. The Historical Society is also having a raffle for $5 a ticket, and they're hoping to sell 15,000 tickets. That's a real uphill battle, but they think they can do it. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Covey.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I want to remind everyone to go out and vote. Election day is coming up this month. Also, make sure you come, as everyone just said, to the parade. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. I want to thank everyone that sent me good wishes when I was in the hospital. Chief Scott, that 181 EMS calls, I was that one on that 181. Once again, I want to thank EMS for coming to get me 2 weeks ago tonight at 11 o'clock at night for a ride to the hospital. I also want to wish this coming Wednesday happy birthday to Superintendent Hatcher. I think he's going to be 34, at least that's what he gave me the money for to say. But other than that, that's about it. Everybody have a great April, and I hope this is May, and the weather gets better, and hopefully I won't be calling for another ride, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Normally at this time I would call for a motion to adjourn. However, council has some additional business to attend to in the caucus room regarding some personnel matters. So we will not call for a motion to adjourn. Council will reconvene in the back room, and I thank everyone for attending tonight.